So mental health is a weakness. But is it? Really? I mean, really? Anyone who's had a mental illness or suffered with their mental health or knows somebody, family member, a friend, someone close to them who's really been through it will know how much courage it takes and how much strength it takes to fight through it, to keep moving forward in life, to get through those days and deal with those challenges and those triggers and try to work through life to get on an even keel again. They'll know how hard that is to do. And it's so easy to want to give up, to want to give in, just to not want to be around anymore. And that's where the strength comes in, and that courage and that determination to keep moving forward, to try to progress, to get up the next day, just to take those little steps forward every day, doing a little bit more. It takes a lot of determination and willpower. And if you've not been through poor mental health or suffered with a mental illness, this is not the same as getting out of bed in the morning or just feeling a little bit tired, lacking sleep, or just having a busy few days. It's, totally different scale completely. So people who've lived through poor mental health and mental illnesses and keep going, hold down jobs, go through life determined, positive. Honestly, they deserve a medal. I'm not talking about me here. I mean, there's people that are a lot worse off than I am, but we've all got different levels of cope and different capabilities when it comes to being able to deal with the challenges that we get with poor mental health. So the idea that it's a weakness is crazy. It's a battle for a lot of people. It's a challenge. It's one of the worst things to go through in life because it's never ending. It just keeps going and going and going. It's not like a lot of illnesses where you kind of have an end date or going to have an operation, get this sorted out, or you've just got to find a way to live with it, and you've got to move forward, and you have to do all that work yourself. You have people around you to help you, but you've got to put that time in, and you've got to learn to cope. You've got to learn to live with it. You've got to move forward with a smile on your face, getting through life as best you can. Get those supportive people around you to help you and move forward. That's what you've got to do. But it takes strength, it takes courage, it takes determination, it takes willpower. It's that willingness just to move forward again, just to do an activity, just to get out of the house, make a commitment, see friends, socialize, whatever. Bit of a tangent there. So I think that a lot of people say that mental health is a weakness because they don't understand it. I think because it carries on and everyone has their own personal experience of a mental illness or poor mental health, whether that's depression, whether that's OCD, it could be all sorts of different experiences, different illnesses that people have, and they're not all the same. And people have different triggers, people have different capabilities when it comes to how they can handle the challenges that they have with it. I think a lot of it is people don't understand it and people don't take the time to understand it. And some of that is because people don't necessarily have the exposure to mental health. We have these mental health awareness weeks or months, and we have ways to mark different mental illnesses And it's a nice flag in the ground for promoting awareness of mental health when that comes around. And the more we do around that time, the more people are aware of it, the better, definitely. But mental health is like 24/7. We all have our own experience of it. And when we slip into an illness phase or our mental health deteriorates significantly, it's a very different experience. I've been living with depression and anxiety myself for some years now, and if I've learned anything during that time, it's that as someone who's been experiencing poor mental health myself and mental illness, you've got to be able to find a way to communicate with people about your experience. And there's people you have to talk to in your life, partners, family, bosses, those kind of people. But you have to find a way to move forward, but you have to find a way to talk to others around you as well, because you've got to be able to feel comfortable enough to talk to people. And that's a bit of a journey in its own right. It takes a bit of time and patience and learning the language almost to be able to put the right words together to speak to people in a way that doesn't take too much energy for you, but you're using words that people will understand and can relate to. And if anything, I find people have empathy, people have sympathy, people are interested in helping you if they can, and they acknowledge themselves how difficult it is to come forward to talk to people about something which many see as incredibly personal. Because a lot of people don't talk openly about their mental health in conversation, especially not with colleagues that they're not close to. So that's really, really valuable, being able to speak from personal experience to other people, to educate them. And even if it is just you talking to them about what your needs are or what your experiences have been like, it does put you in a slightly vulnerable position because you might not know who else they speak to. And so there's a trust element to this, there's confidence, and but the end goal is that more people will have an awareness of the mental health challenges that you have going on. And the more people know, the more people are able to support you. That's, if anything, if I've learned anything through my time with poor mental health, that is it. Over time, it gets easier to have those conversations and to speak to people. The more people that you talk to, the more people will get educated and they'll be less ignorant of what is involved with mental health when people are having these life experiences. And that can only be a good thing. Not everyone takes the time to read up about illnesses unless they're going through it themselves or they know someone close to them that is. It's not until you're in that situation that you start to learn and educate and discover. So we can all play our part in talking more to other people. I also understand how there's a generational aspect to this as well, I think, because now in 2025, there's more people talking about mental health than ever, opening up about it, doing a lot of what I've been talking about so far, which is fantastic. But not that long ago, people weren't talking about this stuff at all. Diagnosis has come a long way. The medical industry has come a long way. Medication and that ability to diagnose and prescribe and provide pastoral care, support, therapy, counselling, psychotherapy, the list goes on and on and on. All those aspects have developed so much over the last 10, 20, 30 years plus. But there are many people, who have for so long never recognized mental health as being something that exists, something that people need to know about. For so long, people have not had to be considerate about people's mental health experiences. And that's partly through lack of education, lack of awareness, and how much has changed through the years. Because now people grow up in school with Senkos, with well-being areas, with all kinds of support and resource that's put into the students so that they're able to feel supported, comfortable, and that the school are showing care and attention to people's well-being, to people's education, in a way that just really wasn't there all that long ago. And that's not just in the UK where I am, that's in many countries. So we've come a long way, but there are a lot of people, as I say, who have not been exposed to those changes in systems and often can hark back to, in my day, this is what we used to do, or this didn't exist back then, and those kind of tropes, which, you know, is fair in that that was then, but there's still a need to have an open mind to how people live today, how people are educated today, what experiences people live with today, for us to be able to educate people around that. So that kind of stigma is not helpful for people. And I think that's perhaps one of the areas where it may be, by some, considered a weakness, because it wasn't, mental health was not recognized years ago. It wasn't acknowledged for what it is. There was no support, care, attention, resource, anything I've listed. That stuff did not exist a few years back, you know, 20, 30 years ago. So times have changed a lot. And it's our job today in 2025 to make sure that people are aware of the mental health issues that people have, and that if they need support, that support is there, and for us to be more caring to each other. So on that note, thank you for listening. And I'd love to hear about your experience of mental health. I'd love to know about a moment of strength that you've had. Have you spoken out about mental health to anyone? Whether that's to promote awareness, or whether that's just to pull someone up maybe on how they're acting towards people. Okay, till next time, take care.